Hey everybody, it's Captain Kyle and I have a triple versus review for you. We are going to put up the original Wreck-Gar against the Studio 86 version of Wreck-Gar against a third-party Recyclers. So it should be exciting. We'll go through each of them, posability, transformation, all that jazz, and see which one is the best. Be right back. So let's start with our dear friend Wreck-Gar, the G1 version put out after the movie. He comes with an axe that he could use to try to disembowel Springer. He comes with a gun and a wheel that he uses as a shield, and the bot himself. Now, as far as posability, his arms are amazingly posable for a G1. They can go out to the sides, he can bend at the elbow, he has a lot of range of motion there. The legs, well, he has reverse knees, but that's part of the transformation. Can't really do much else with the legs, and his head does not turn. So, posability wise, he's G1, what do you want? We're lucky we got the arms the way that we do. Now, when he is in robot mode, I usually put his shield underneath his fist with the gun, and then I give him his battle axe. That way I have all the accessories in one spot. I don't have to worry about putting anything aside. I worry about that when, he's in vehicle mode. But overall, a cool figure, somewhat of a good representation of the movie version. The detailing on his face, kind of hard to see. Doesn't really look like he has a mustache, or a beard for that matter. He does have the very cold nipples. Boing! So yeah, I guess it's really cold on the planet of junk. A very cool figure. Now let's check out the Studio 86. Now this is not a sealed box, I took him out. I actually have one that I have not removed from the package. And then I bought another one, got a bit of a discount on it. It had been opened, but it was complete with the packaging, so that's the one I'm showing to you. Now this guy comes equipped with two wheels that you can attach. He comes with an axe. He does not come with a gun, though he does have the two nipple guns, so just like in Austin Powers. But he is a very cool version of the character, much more accurate to the movie, which is the whole point of the Studio 86 line. Now he's got these things on his hips that if you turn up, you can actually put him into a full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Hurts just looking at it. He can bend at the knee, his feet have joints so he can point his toe, no peek. He can do side kicks, front kicks, whatever kicks he needs to do, and you can put him in all kinds of poses and have his feet pretty much solidly on the ground. His arms have great movement as well, up and back. He bends at the elbow. You can actually twist his fists around. The head turns, and he's got the mustache and the beard. He twists at the waist. Overall, a lot of posability on this guy. He's got handlebars on his back, so someone can jump on his back and ride him. Of course, the original one does too. But an excellent version of the character. And if you already have this guy, you're probably already aware of that. The detailing is spot on. Now let's go for Recyclers. Now this I got from AliExpress, you can tell because the box is kind of damaged. When I order from AliExpress, usually there's an option to get with box or without. I usually like to get with, because sometimes the boxes look cool. He is recycles, which means he appreciates the environment and tries to do stuff to save the planet. Well, I usually like to get the box, but if you order it without the box, as long as it comes with the instructions, you should be good. Which it does come with instructions. I think I left it in the other room though. He comes with a number of accessories. He comes with this thing he uses to beat on and this little spike that he can beat on it with. He comes with a battle axe, a sword, and a gun. So he is pretty well outfitted. He's got two wheels attached to him. Now he is smaller than the other figures, but he still has the booby guns. Posability wise, he can also do a full Jean-Claude Van Damme, and you don't have to take off the tire to do it. Bends at the knees, he can do all kinds of kicks and poses. The feet do move. The arms go in pretty much all directions. You can put them out to the sides, though sometimes if you're moving it forward, his booby will move too, so be careful. He also has the handlebars on his back. There he is with some weapons, though of course you have extras. There's not really a place to put them on him when he's carrying the other stuff, at least not that I can see. You could kind of attach the sword to the inside of his leg, but that seems awkward and slightly dirty. Overall, a cool figure, very reminiscent and much more accurate to the movie than the original, but probably not quite as accurate as the Studio 86. But pretty close. Though he is slimmer in the torso, so maybe he looks a little bit more accurate as compared to a cartoon render of the character. So, a cool figure. Size-wise, he's a bit smaller, and I do mean quite a bit smaller than the others. The Studio 86 and the original G1 are about the same height, though with the transformation of the original, he's got maybe a couple millimeters or so. The Studio 86 Recyclers is the smallest of the bunch, but very cool, and if you don't use him as Wreck-Gar, you could use him as another Junkion to build a Junkion army, because they were everywhere. I do like the additional accessories that Recyclers comes with. You can even have him beating his own drum. So all the figures are pretty cool, but let's check out the vehicle mode, which is of course a motorcycle. Now again, we're going to start with the original Wreck-Gar, who has a very simple transformation. So he makes a very solid motorcycle, rolls well enough. The legs from the robot mode on the sides here kind of keep him upright so he doesn't flop over. They do plug into the side of this engine area, which kind of keeps them in place, which is nice. And pop a wheelie, not wheelie. So overall, a decent motorcycle. Looks like you can put someone on top, phrasing. Though most of the G1 figures wouldn't really be able to mount him properly. This is just not sounding good. But a lot of the newer figures actually could have the articulation to properly ride this motorcycle. Now there's not really a place for these pieces that I'm aware of. So again, you just have to put aside the weapons and hope they don't get lost. All right, time to check out Studio 86. So here is the Studio 86 in vehicle mode. Kind of a rough ride because of the spiked tires. And doesn't flop over, but leans because of the spikes. Overall, a very cool looking motorcycle. You could probably get another one of these and have him get on. He does have weapon storage in the back, so it makes a nice little pinwheel driving if it doesn't fall off. It is a small little peg. Now it does look like it's more of a motorcycle meant for other robots. Probably not that comfortable for a human. But again, when you look at the movie and the version in there, this is a great representation. Even sounds like it's revving up. Weapon storage kind of sucks just because it's very easy for that to pop off. But overall, really nice motorcycle. All right, recycles. Let's get him into his vehicle mode. So there's Recyclers in motorcycle mode, and it's actually a pretty cool looking motorcycle mode. Some interesting things about the transformation. Unlike the other two, where the front wheel is held by either his hands or his very close to his wrists, this is actually held in by the elbows, so you don't actually remove this tire, and his hands grip the legs underneath here in a very clever way. It gives him a little bit of a different motorcycle mode, more like a dirt bike. I am not an expert on motorcycles, but definitely a little bit different than the others. The others look more like road bikes with saddlebags. He kind of has a saddlebag effect here, but this is definitely more of a racing vehicle than an actual, bring it on the road. As far as attaching weapons in his vehicle mode, I think you can put the gun on the side, you can put the sword on the side. I don't think there's room for all of the accessories to be attached, but at least some of them, so he's not driving anywhere unarmed. Of course, I never worried about that in the comic anyway. Now, next to his two counterparts, well, obviously he is the smallest of the bunch. He doesn't flop over quite as much as the Studio 86 version, but he doesn't stand quite as straight as the original G1. But they are all very cool versions of this character. In vehicle mode, I would have to say that the biggest one is the Studio 86 version, but a close second is the original G1. And of course, this little guy, cool if you wanted to set up a scene with some of the combiners and you wanted Wreck-Gar to be smaller in size, to be more in scale, as if he's looking up saying, "Wanna get out of here by and by? Offer expires while you wait. Operators are standing by." But they're all very cool. Definitely like the Studio 86 for the accuracy. This has a nostalgia value all its own, and this is just cool. I mean, it might not be your version of Wreck-Gar. You might get them and just call them recycles. I mean, there's already Junk Heap and Scrap Heap and Detritus and, having another guy, recycles or dustbin, whatever you want to call them. But there they are, G1, Studio 86, and the third-party recycles. Which one do you like the best? Please let me know in the comments below. And I will also put links to eBay to get the G1 version. This is still available at some retailers. I'll see if I can put some links to those. And this I got through AliExpress, so I'll put a link to AliExpress in the description as well. And while you're waiting and deciding and weighing out which hog is yours to ride, that didn't really sound that good. You can watch some other videos. If you enjoyed this one, give it a big thumbs up. You can comment, you can let your friends know, tell me which one you like the best. You can subscribe if you haven't already. Do all the YouTube things, just not dislike. We'll see you next time, and as always, have fun and good hunting.